my cherished chronicle chasers and saga enthusiasts, and welcome to the second broadcast of Weekly Pull List's features and updates. Um, in case you don't remember or know me, my name is Danny. I'm the owner of Cobra Comics in the city of Whittier, California, and I will be guiding you through this next feature, which I like to call My Comic Shed. Now, My Comic Shed is a sub-feature of weeklypullist.com, and it is for my fellow comic book collectors. The way it works is I'm going to go through the way to add a comic book to your collection, or multiple comic books in this case. Now, I know you can't see the drop down menus, and don't worry about it, but the way it works is you can either search or select the publisher from the drop down menu, and based off of that publisher we are going to have some populated comic book series. Now you can go ahead and go cycle through the drop down of Marvel Comics um, roster of comic book series, but we know that goes into the thousands of comic book series. So instead we're just going to use this search function, and let's search for some Amazing Spider-Man. And what it's going to do is it's going to populate the drop down with all the Amazing Spider-Man comic book series that we have around here. Now, once again, I know you can't see the drop down, but we're going to select Volume 1. Let's go with Volume 1 Amazing Spider-Man. And as you see, it updates. We're going to add 100 items per page. And we're going to kind of go through this. As you see, here's the pagination where you would just go next, 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 to be able to find those books that you want. But for now, I want to show you that. Oh, actually, I want to show you this too. You see how they are all situated together, like the annuals and the main series and all that. Well, that's because we have the All tab selected. If we select the main series or the annuals or the giant size, then you're going to pretty much get those results, and they're going to be in numerical order. So we'll go with the annuals for now. Let's add some annuals. So say you have all of these annuals and you're like, oh, well, you know what? I have these that I want to add to my collection. I just picked up at a flea market for a quarter a piece. I wish. Um, then you would just go ahead and select it. Now you have a couple different methods of upload. The first method is going to be a custom upload where you can, select your grade. Say if it's a 9.4 near mint, um, or 8.5, or 3.5 VG minus, or whatever it may be, right? You can select it from the drop down, add some issue notes, where you purchased it from. If it's signed, you can add the names there. You can add if it's slabbed and what grading company. Now, slab certification number, slab grader notes, uh, issue cost, for sale price, sold price, personal market value, which is interesting. So, say you were looking for another copy of this specific comic book, and you personally feel that you'll pay, a certain amount for this issue. Well, you can use that personal market value for that number right there, just as a frame of reference. Or maybe you just believe that this book is under or overvalued, and personally you believe the value of it is this. Well, then there you go. Just put it in there. I mean, just a little extra information for you to, keep track of things. But for now, we're going to go with this method of uploading your comic book collection. So you see how it says, are you sure you want to add 6 issues to your comic shed? Well, yes, I'm going to add these 6 issues that I've selected, and you can select as many as your little heart desires. Go right ahead. For now, we're just going to do 6 of them. Now, there you go. Bam, easily done, easily sent to your comic book collection. Now you would go to my comic collection, and you can see right here, I only have a few things up here. Nothing crazy yet. I haven't had a chance to upload my personal collection. Ain't that a shame? But as you see, we got some information right here, right? This is the dashboard for your comic book series. That series specifically, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1. It's like your long box with all your comic issues. Now, it's going to have some basic information, and don't worry about the design. Eventually we'll make it look nicer and prettier and all that good stuff. For the time being, work with me. Um, Total amount spent, whatever your issue costs were, and that's for the whole series. So it's going to be for everything in this series. The total amount sold, if you sold any, and if you inputted that number, you have X amount of comic books out of X amount of total comic book issues out there. Now, say you are out and about and you're like, hey, you pull up your phone and you want to see which books you have for Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1 in your long box. Well, you would come here to view complete issue list. When you view your complete issue list, it's going to show you all the issues that you have in your comic book collection. And then based off of that, of course, you'll be able to say like, oh, okay, so it was number 7 that I needed, not number 6. And number 6, I have 5. Oh, duh. Okay, so just a little something else that you can use, and it does have like some of the the facsimiles in there that you'll be able to see some of the variants and all that good stuff. Now, aside from that, you have your general layout of your books from your comic collection, your series collection. Now, it's going to show issue cost, for sale price, sold price. If it's a key, if you added a grade, it'll show right here. If you added whether or not it was slabbed, it would show the grading company here as well. And you can just go ahead and navigate on through your whole series. You know, you can show all of them. Well, not all of them, but up to 100 per page. All that good stuff. So, say you want to look into it a little bit more into this specific book in your collection. While this is your comic book collection, um, your those issue details for that specific comic book in your collection, right? So it's going to hold your issue cost, where you purchase it from, for sale price. Now, if you want to add a couple pictures of this book for yourself, here you go. This is where you can do it. Will we be able to add more images in the future? That is still up for debate. We will see. Maybe. Okay, so say you're like, hey, you know what? I now remember how much I paid for it. I paid, $2 for this thing, and I don't know, my grade of it was, a 6.5. Well, there we go, and I didn't grade it. It's not signed, but if you want to add signed by, there you go, and you could just go ahead and add that in there. Say like, oh, you know what? I had it signed by Stan Lee, and I completely forgot until I started pulling my books out and adding them to weeklypoolist.com's My Comic Shed. You would just add it right there, and there you go. Now you update your details. And there we go. You have that information there. Now, say you're like, oh, I just want to jump to my comic book, other comic book series like Batman or whatever it is. Then you can jump directly to those specific issues inside that series that you own. Or if you need to jump to another issue that you own inside this series, well, you can do that as well. Um, Other features like this is part of the comic archive. If you click on the series name up here at the top, you're going to notice it takes you to the informational page. This is the comic book issue details page. And what it's going to do is, if you have it in your collection, it's going to let you know it's in your collection. You could click on it, go directly to that one in your collection. If you have multiples, wow, that's a surprise. It's going to take you to one of them. You can go ahead and navigate through this. It's going to show you if it's a key issue or not, what the information is, description. If it's a long description, then you can show more, show less, appearances, all that good stuff. Now, say you're like, okay, I need to jump to another issue. You could, but I don't want to use the, next and previous buttons. I have to get there quicker. Okay, well, which issue are you doing? Oh, I got to go to 39 real quick. Why? Because I just got that and I'm going to add it. You want to add that book? Go right ahead, add to my collection. Now it's in your collection. Awesome, right? Next, previous, and you're going to notice that it's really going to navigate using if it's on the main series. Now, say for example, you are on number one, but it's a special or variants. Well, it's going to only navigate using looking for those specials and variants, books instead of navigating you through the main series. We're going to keep that, make sure that stays separate because, it used to annoy me when I would do that stuff like on other places when I would be looking for issues just to find out some information on them. Now, you're going to see on a lot of these pages that it doesn't have the data here. And remember, me and Johnny, we're working on this. But we're a small team here. I'm handling most of the code. Johnny's handling a lot of the data, as he's been doing for years. I mean, he's our resident encyclopedia for comic books. So, between me and him, we got our work cut out for us. So if you ever want to help out, that we will not be opposed to people helping us out inputting correct data. All right. So here we go, back on track. Variant covers, all of that good stuff for that issue. Oops. And yeah, and that's pretty much the gist of adding to your comic book collection, right? You, like I said, you can add pictures, you can, add multiple issues. I got some future functionalities like, just uploading your CSV and, mm, um, you know, per series, and, it'll map it out for you automatically. I'm trying to make it as intuitive and as easy as possible for you guys. But, for the time being, bear with me. I'm still working on this for you, but I want to give you guys something to use now. So that way, you can tell me all the pros and cons about the site and how I can make it better for us. Because that's the idea, is to make it better for us as the community, and we grow with it. Grow with the community at the same means. So if you have any questions, concerns, if you don't like the site, I'll give you Mike's number for those of you guys that know him, and you guys can yell at him. Okay? Now, don't forget to follow us and subscribe. That way you can keep being updated with all the new features and functions that weeklypoollist.com has to offer. And I still don't have a sign off phrase, but I'm working on that. I want it to be cool. I don't know if I'll ever come up with one. I don't have a sign off phrase, might be my sign off phrase. So until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send us some information. I send us a message with any information you're looking for, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. And if not, comment. Let us know what you like to see, what you would like me to explain more of, go in detail with. If you're starting to use it already, then comment what kind of features you want to see added next. Okay. All right. Now I'll talk to you guys later. All right. See ya.